Hey everyone, well it's the week before Christmas, everyone's knocking off and going off on holidays here in Australia, so I don't want to spend too much time doing a really long, complicated, boring video that no one's going to watch. So I want to do a really quick video this week on the Excel trap and how it's really important to know this when you're thinking about your business. If you want to know what the Excel trap is, keep watching. So I want to start this video by sharing a story with you guys. Back when I was a young accountant, many years ago, let's just leave it at that, I worked for a company that did a system implementation and they kind of messed it up. And as a result of that, I was forced to do all the company reporting, so this is balance sheet, profit and loss, they forecast budgets on Excel rather than in the system. Now, one quarter I was doing the forecast and I managed to change one of the formulas on the Excel spreadsheet and it ignored about 4 months worth of maintenance. Now, being a factory, maintenance was kind of a big expenditure, it was about 15 to 20% of the expenditure. So ignoring that meant the forecast looked really good on the surface, but a week later when I discovered the issue, I had to go up to the CEO and the finance director and say, hey look, I've made a big mistake here. I've actually left out 20% of the cost for the rest of the year. And that was really a tipping point at that company for me. As a result of that Excel error, my career kind of ground to a halt and it was really obvious that it was time to go out and look for a new job, all because one formula in Excel wasn't picking up what it was meant to. Now, us accountants, we friggin' love Excel. We love taking information out of a system and downloading it into Excel and doing pivot tables and lookups and charts and graphs and everything like that and putting it into a really cool report that no one's probably ever going to look at. And the reason we do that is because Excel is actually super flexible and it allows us to do our job really quickly and easily. But there is a downside with Excel. Unlike a system that is tested, designed, and meant to do what it's doing, Excel is kind of made up on the fly. There's no design, there's very little testing, and there's very little sign-off on that Excel sheet actually being able to do what we're trying to do with it. That downside leads to the fact that around 80 to 90% of all Excel sheets have an error in them. And in fact, research shows that around 10% of the Excel sheets used in business have an error in them that's so fundamental, it's actually telling us to do the opposite thing to what we should be doing. So awesome work, Andrew. You've just literally told every business in the world that their Excel spreadsheets are useless, and so is most of their reporting. Awesome work. What are we going to do about it? Okay, so look, there's two ways of really addressing this problem. First of all, if you have a designated business intelligence tool or report writing tool, it's worth putting the investment in to move some of those critical reports off Excel into that BI tool. I know this is probably going to cost you some money and you might have to get some expertise from outside, but actually doing that is a great investment because you're going to move those critical things onto a well-documented, designed and tested solution that you can actually sign off and say, yes, it's fit for purpose. If you can't and you're still required to use Excel, I would take that sort of approach and apply it to your Excel sheets. Do we have a written design for what that Excel sheet's going to do? Do we have it actually built out and documented the way it should be? And have we tested it and got it signed off? If we've done those things, we're actually reducing our risk of Excel error. So guys, I'm not advocating for you to throw out your Excel spreadsheets and never use them again. Excel is a great tool. It makes our lives easy. The reason why people use it is because it's flexible, it's easy to use, and we love it. But what I am saying is when you're using Excel to do your business critical reports, you need to be aware of the risk that's associated with that. If you can, shift some of those business critical reports onto a designated reporting tool. If you can't do it, then have a critical eye on those reports and actually go ahead and document them, test them and have them signed off, and also ask yourself, how can I reconcile this information to make sure it's correct and to make sure I'm not having one of those little errors that reduces all the maintenance down to zero, because if you do that, guess what, you're probably going to be looking for a new job real quick. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Chapman. Have a happy holidays. If you like my content, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Also, if you've got any comments or questions, put them in the comments section down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.